A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Thursday edition of the show. Happens to be the first one for the week. We're loving it. I'm Yemi Adebayo. On the show tonight, there's a lot to talk about. And of course, I'm not alone here as usual. My partner, my colleague, Austin Okona-Akpan, is with me. He's suited, he's ready. And we're going to take this trip together across the money spinning world of sports.
Sporting greetings to you, Yemi, and everyone joining us from different parts of the world. Still an action-packed world of sports. What a story. We're getting right here in the English Premier League. The Gunners, Arsenal, it's like they're not looking back. They really won that league title, and fans in the United Kingdom believe that the Gunners can go all the way. I also monitor the Flying Eagles. It was a nervy encounter against the Junior Cranes of Uganda. Hey, football gave it to the Flying Eagles. They've qualified for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup.
All right, also, and that's where we start off the show tonight, taking a look at the exploits of Landa Bozo's boys. That's the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. And you quite rightly said it. They're true to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. They've picked that ticket, and that's all that matters. I was able to see a few minutes of the game, but since you monitored also, let me just get your thoughts. I'm very sure the viewers also will probably be relying on what you saw from a lot of the comments. The result was good. The performance, not so good.
Yeah, it was a tale of just do what you need to do, to get to the semifinals of the CAF Under-20 AFCON and pick a ticket to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup that will take place in Indonesia. Look, Yemi, I've always been promoting no pressure on Ladan Boso's team, but today, they put me under so much pressure, I was wondering, because at the time, we expect them to, hold up the play, control, maybe because they're still young. There's this calmness that is missing, particularly when they get the ball and they cannot just decipher what they want to do with it. That's what I saw with this team. But, good enough to defend it, tried not to make mistakes, but the finishing, the positional play, the discipline, coordination, just a lot of things missing. And I think that Ladan Boso will need to find a way to, correct those errors so that now that they're in the semifinals, if they hope to win it, they can do it with some style, do it with some quality. That victory came courtesy of an own goal. Ibrahim Mohamed, with a bullet of a shot, it struck the goalpost and then hit the Ugandan defender and went in. And that was just more than enough for the Flying Eagles, to take it. Ibrahim Mohamed also got a couple of chances to kill it, but he didn't, get a final finishing touch. So it is what it is. At this stage, it's still a bit raw. I also think that the technical crew need to do a lot of tactical play and strategic education to these guys so that when they come out to play, they can understand when they need to play as a team. They can understand that they need to grow as a unit. I still see a little bit of pressure to impress, the young lads, and when you expect them to play with the teammate, they just really want to, do a little bit of show. But hey, they can get refined, and I'm sure when the media officer joins us, it will tell us what the mood is like in camp, what Coach Ladan Boso said to the team, as we expect to see them improve in the semis, Yemi.
Yes, we hope we'll be able to have that connect very soon. But I also listened to a couple of our colleagues, and they also said, opinions probably divided, but I guess the agreement was, okay, probably let's just take a look at the results, just a confirmation for our viewers. Similar scoreline across board in last 8 fixtures today. Senegal defeated Republic of Benin 1-0, and of course Uganda lost to the Flying Eagles of Nigeria by a lone goal. And of course Senegal, Nigeria, of course, through to the next round, and also they've qualified for the FIFA Under-20 Men's World Cup. That's good to hear. Austin, I was about to get your thoughts also on this one. The quality of opposition. Some have alluded to that as the reason why the boys probably didn't play to their fullest potential. Some pointed, a couple of our colleagues pointed to the previous games they've played, even the one they lost, how they played well, even though they lost, but probably the quality of the opposition. So do you think a few of the guys have, I have a point when they talk about the quality of the opposition?
I disagree, particularly at this level where you know that these guys just have one objective. When you play in the quarterfinals, just try to get to the semis, and then you go to the World Cup. And they are young. They want to, have some national team representation. They want to go to the world stage and get, clubs in Europe, watch them, scouts come after them. So Uganda, for me today, even had a better game plan, but they were just unfortunate. And if you could see that at the end of the encounter, they were feeling so down. It was the pain of defeat that they had to express. No, not quality of opposition. Yes, the team improved after they lost their opening game to Senegal. I think against Egypt, they needed to show some character, and they did, particularly after getting that long goal at the time that they got it, and they were able to secure that victory. And then they went on, to improve in their next match. Today's match, I expected it to be nervy, but I wanted to see some level of maturity, because Uganda, we're going to respect the Flying Eagles, because the Flying Eagles are almost in the same situation as them. So what happened to Uganda today could have happened to Nigeria. But the Ugandans were just waiting for that perfect opportunity to create a chance and then score. But as I said, the Flying Eagles, they did more than enough to, stay compact in defense. They were determined not to concede today. I think it was that carefulness that even, touched their creativity going forward. So no, it's not about the quality of opposition. In fact, I want to commend all the teams that that played at this CAF Under-20. The future looks good for Africa. You could see a lot of young talents, and they've got some good quality. So yeah, we just hope that they will improve, particularly the teams that will now represent Africa at the World Cup. Will give us something good to talk about.
All right. It seems we have the connect now. Let's go on and have a chat with the Flying Eagles media officer, Sharif Abdallah. He joins us now. Greetings to you, Sharif. I guess I should say congratulations in order now that the Flying Eagles have been able to pick the ticket to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup.
Well, thank you very much. Of course, congratulations to all Nigerians, because trust me, this victory is not just for the Flying Eagles. It's not just for the Nigeria Football Federation, but I just believe it is for, over 200 million Nigerians living over there, and especially football-loving Nigerians. It's a hard-fought victory. I overheard all your discussions, but the most important thing is the victory. It could have been a different story by now, but we just have to thank God that at least, even though it's one goal, but with a slim margin. But the most important thing at this point is for the team to qualify for Indonesia. That's the ultimate target. That's the target set by Nigeria Football Federation. That's the target by, of course, the players have in mind that, look, come what may, we have to qualify and make it to Indonesia. Indonesia is what matters. Indonesia is where we expect the best of the best across the 5 continents we have. That's across the globe. So we expect to see the best out. This is just from my own point of view, is just the starting point, the journey. This journey began in May last year when we started with the WAFU Under-20 tournament, which served as the qualifier for this tournament. And this tournament also serves as the qualifier for the forthcoming FIFA Under-20 World Cup, which is the highest stage, the pinnacle, as far as age grade football, particularly players under the age of 20 is concerned. So we just have to thank God for the victory. And I believe now that we've gotten the ticket, is in the bag, trust me, it's safe. We're coming back to Nigeria with the ticket to the World Cup. So I believe we can up our game and, of course, head straight to take further.
All right. You talked about the ultimate target, the ultimate aim. Before we talk about the game, because and I'm very sure my colleague Austin will want to take you back to the game, but I want to also ask, since the target is met, will the boys still be motivated to probably go all the way to win the tournament? You said it, the target was qualify for the Under-20 World Cup. That they've done now. Would there still be motivation to go all the way with the semis and probably win the final? Okay.
I will try to, get Sharif back.
It does appear,
I can understand, the joy from Sharif's tone, Yemi. It's all about qualifying for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup, and objective has been achieved. That was the target from the NFF. Go to Egypt, pick a ticket, and Nigeria at this level. The Flying Eagles, they've bossed the tournament, 7-time champions. They're seeking, to do it for the 8th time, and they look like the team that can go on to do it. Shout out to the young goalkeeper who was standing captain. Yemi, as early as the 10th minute, he made a fantastic save to deny Uganda from scoring. If the junior cranes of Uganda had scored that goal, we would have been given a different analysis entirely. Let's go back to Sharif. He's back with us. Sharif, good to have you back. We're joining you to celebrate the Flying Eagles. I was just telling Yemi about that save that the goalkeeper made in the 10th minute. How important was it for that match?
Well, like I've said earlier, I think it's a victory to all Nigerians, particularly football-loving Nigerians. The Flying Eagles is a team for all. Is a team for Nigeria. And trust me, this is an exciting moment for the team.
So it seems we're having some technical issue with Sharif's connection. Sharif, if you can hear me, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I get where you hopefully won't lose you again.
All right.
For Coach Ladam Bosso, is it about improving match after match, or just go out there, do what you need to do to qualify for the World Cup?
Certainly, it's about improving. Like I told you earlier, I mean, whenever I have this kind of discussion, particularly with my fellow colleagues, number one, the ultimate target for the team is to make it to Indonesia. Number two is about developing the players, because age grade competitions like this, organized by Confederation of African Football and World Football Governing Body FIFA, is to develop the young players, of which serves as more like a feeder to the senior men's national team. I mean, for us, it's about having the superstars for the Super Eagles in the nearest future. So it's not just about making it to Indonesia. At least we've seen some qualities from my own point of view, which I believe in no distant time, that they will be, fit and ready for the Super Eagles. At the moment, we need young players that will fill in the vacuum to be left by some of the senior players we have in the Super Eagles. So that's the ultimate target, and that is the essence of this competition. You come and showcase what you have, and of course, use it as an opportunity to groom stars across your country and the continent by extension, and then, feed your senior men's national team. So for us, it's about having the best of the best to make it to the Super Eagles national team. It's a developmental process. It's a developmental competition, and I believe that the Super Eagles can tap in from this kind of experience. We have some young and exciting players whom I believe in no distant time can start playing for the Super Eagles. So that's the target.
Describe the mood for me, Sharif, after they qualified for the World Cup. These are young lads. How are they taking this victory? And for them, is it a motivation to go on to win the final and make it a record 8th victory for the Flying Eagles?
Well, certainly. Of course, it can't get any better than the feelings. I mean, the camp is the feelings we have at the moment in the camp. Trust me, we've been celebrating right from the dressing room even to the back to a hotel at the moment. That's back to our base in Ismailia. And prior to the team, that's our departure from the stadium, that's the Suez Canal Authority Stadium, the president of Nigeria Football Federation, Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusau, was with the team. He congratulated the team. Even before the team's departure, he was with the team. And he more or less like psyched the place. Like, guys, you're playing for yourself, you're playing for Nigeria, but most importantly, you guys are playing for yourselves. I mean, it is a very big opportunity for you to, showcase your talent to the world. So I believe.
Yeah.
So I believe at this point in time, after qualifying for the World Cup, the players will go out there and, of course, make it to the final, and hopefully we make it to the to the podium. But trust me, at least one of the most important aim of coming to Egypt has been achieved. That's sealing a World Cup berth to Indonesia. That has been achieved. And, when you get to the bridge, you cross it. So certainly we have achieved this important moment. And I believe we can still go further by making it to the final. And, of course, at the end of the day, lifting the trophy for the 8th time. That should be the ultimate target.
Before I let you go, give us some camp updates. Will the captain, Daniel Bamayi, be available for the next match? Hello, Sharif. Okay, I think we're struggling with that. Let's just let Sharif go join the team and celebrate. So that's his Super Flying Eagles media officer, Sharif Abdallah, speaking to us from Egypt. Let me get back to you. You listened to some of the things he talked about. For Coach Lanamboso, it's not just about... Okay, Sharif, we have you back now. Let's just wrap it up properly. Sharif, can you hear me? Oh, okay. That should do it. That should do it. So, it was talking about that, yes, the objective was to qualify for the World Cup, but that it was also important that they achieved some level of improvement, particularly having an eye on the Super Eagles, and I think that's a good objective.
That's it. History is full of... there's a full list of players who've played at the under-20 level, and you could say after the tournament strode straight into the Super Eagles. As a matter of fact, every team that does well, every Flying Eagles team that does well, you're likely going to see 4 or 5 players make that switch, that move to the senior national level. Case in point, 1989, the team that had Dimeji Lawal, Mutu Adikpoju, a lot of those guys made it to the senior national team. Even in 2005, they said they had Taiwo Mikel and all of that. So aside winning, which we've not done at under-20 level globally, aside winning, which is something that a lot of people want, the main objective is to ensure that the conveyor belt is intact and is working, and we are getting players. All right, so that's just about it, and I think it said it well.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Let me also add to that your list of players that have come out of the under-20 that made it to the Super Eagles. Joseph Yobo, Odion Ialo, and that's why it's very, very important that at this level, we de-emphasize winning. Yes, it will be good, but we should always know that it's part of the building process. And that's why I keep saying no pressure, though people come for me when I say that. It's good that they've qualified for the World Cup now. That's a bigger assignment, but let's see some quality of play. I thought they were a lot better against Mozambique than what I saw today. So yes, today's game was a bit technical because Uganda also wanted a ticket, but you want to see some level of improvement. I'm sure Coach Ladamboso and his team will find a way to, make this team, get better match after match. Congratulations to the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. Let's go on this quick break now. When we come back, there's still so much to talk about. It's Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Don't go anywhere. Stay. Welcome back. It's Sports Tonight on Channels Television. In case you're just joining us, we're celebrating the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. That's Nigeria's national under-20 men's football team. They've qualified for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup, courtesy of a 1-0 victory over Uganda at the CAF Under-20 AFCON taking place in Egypt. Let's go back to the Lagos studio now. Here, Bolu Omoni is seated and ready to go on this ride with us. Bolu, it's good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Yeah, good to be again. At least on the day, the Flying Eagles, like some would say, the only way to play football is to win. Performance may not be top-notch, but at least they crossed the first hurdle, which was to win. So hopefully they move on. Like yourself, Sharif, and of course, Yemi said, every under-20 team that has done well, we always see the progression to the national team. And I think since the Mikel's time, we've not really seen. Luckily, the Osimhen's generation, they were too good individually to be avoided. And that's my worry for this team, because even the Super Eagles players are young. Then for you to break into the Super Eagles now, you have to be exceptional. So hopefully they go on to win this tournament and probably do well at the world stage.
That's a valid point you just raised, you know. So, stiffer competition, I'll welcome it. Ayami, where do we go from here?
Well, let's talk about the NNL. Of course, it's built to start on March the 3rd. Of course, a lot of abridged things going on right about now, but it's better than nothing. We're not going to put a slide on screen, but let me quickly get your thoughts. The NNL is a place where a lot of matches are being played. They call it the nursery of the main. Whatever you see in the NNL is an indication of what you're going to see in the top flight. But we're where we are. We can't moan. We can't complain anymore. But hopefully everything starts tomorrow.
Well, I don't understand abridged for the NNL. Naturally, they are abridged already. So how do you play your abridged? But me is, let the game just keep going on, because we say it all the time, and I do hand as the devil's workshop. So if the guys are sitting down doing nothing, there are definitely chances of them going into bad things, doing one or two, making wrong decisions. Now, like, third is not far away. It's just tomorrow. So hopefully they get this game going on. We will criticize gameplay later. We'll criticize not being able to see. We'll criticize officiating and all those. But let's see the games first. Kick off. So from there, we can start patching. At least we've corrected a few wrongs in the NPFL. Just because they started, just because we can see some games on TV. So hopefully this one gets it right. Third is tomorrow. It's not like next week or next month. So when the game gets going on, and hopefully they listen to the correction. There are many things that the IMC have been criticized for, and they've worked on it. So hopefully this time, it will make no sense when we finish NPFL and there's nothing from the NNL. So let everyone finish about the same time. Then we can easily say, this one's coming in from the NNL, they are ready. Those going down, they did the work to go down, not just pick some people randomly.
And that's it on your screen. You talked about it. So let's just quickly reel out this Northern Conference. That's Division A1. Few matches we played. Kogi United will play Hype Boss FC, Mighty Jets up against EFCC Football Club. Trust me, there will be no arrests in that game. ABS, Babaka Bukola Saraki, Babes will up against Malu, Mailantaki KFC. And so that's the fixtures in Division A1. Let's see if we can get some of the fixtures for you. Is a bridge, and those are the fixtures, the matches to be played. And of course, in the days to come, you will see some more. All right, this is what we didn't talk about. The games to be played tomorrow in the Under-20. We'll try our best to leave the Under-20, but it's not leaving us. So let's just talk about this. Nigeria's picked the ticket already, but 2 more tickets on offer. Bolu. Gambia will take on South Sudan. Congo will take on Tunisia. From what you've seen of these 4 teams, I know you're not a betting person, but your thoughts on who you think will go through in those ones.
Me, I just want a team that the Flying Eagles will beat. I want to buy Flying Eagles to take on Senegal again in the final. So
that's what a lot of people are saying.
Let's see what happens. If the first one was a fluke, remember Greece and Portugal in 2005. It felt like Greece were not good, but they flukely, in quote, beat them. So let's see if they can
beat them twice.
They did it again in the final. They were the host. So let's see if Senegal can come again. And if they now collect, we know they are better off.
In local balance.
But if we beat them, you could easily say, well, opening matches happen like that.
Okay.
But either way, at least I'm excited for this guy that they've qualified. Yeah. So let's see. Let's take on Senegal again. Let's see what happens if they were just lucky or we just wanted them to go far. So this time around, when the Flying Eagles beat them ahead, we can.
Well, since we're going to the English Premier League next, I remember the words of Mo Salah. Said he was angry Real Madrid beat them in one of the finals and he wanted to face them again. And he got what he wished for, but it turned out to be a loss. So I'm hoping if we get to play Senegal again, that it wouldn't be a loss. But that's just my thoughts. All right, let's get Austin back into it. And of course, we're going to his base now. Let's talk about the English Premier League. And I didn't want to talk about this one, but let me allow Austin to do the honor. Some games were played yesterday in the English Premier League.
I know you're too excited, to talk about this one. So yes, I'm going to help you. I want a story. The Gunners, I think they're having a fantastic season, and the manager Mikel Arteta has described it as it described the win over Everton as being grateful for Arsenal's magical moments, and the Gunners are doing just enough to tell Manchester City that, look, if you're going to take this season's title from us, you need to do some work. Beating Everton 4-0 was a perfect way, to respond to that 1-0 loss at Goodison Park earlier in February. So the Gunners opened a 5-point lead at the top of the English Premier League table. Let's listen to Mikel Arteta, and then when we come back, Bolu reacts to whatever Arteta talks about.
I'm really happy. It was the game that we had in hand against an opponent that we knew that it was going to make life really difficult for us, and we experienced that at Goodison. And we started the game with some frustration and not really understanding what we had to do, allowing them to run in certain transitions. But after 20-25 minutes, I think we started to get much better. I think the timing of the 2 goals was key. We needed a magic moment there, and Alex and Bew produced that, and then I think the team grew. When you look at them every single day and you just feel how much they want it, and how much they really want to produce what we asked them to do, and how much they want to please our people, I have no doubts that we're going to turn things around in performances, in results. Sometimes there are small details that makes you win or not win, but I am really pleased with where the team is right now. And you have to do that. At the end, you have to produce those magic moments, and as you said, take that initiative and have that mentality. I'm going to do it on the pitch. I'm not going to wait for somebody else to do it. And when you have now a few players with that willingness and that capacity to do that, you have a better chance to win more games.
Arsenal's manager Mikel Arteta grateful for the magic moments his team is producing. Bolu, 25 games gone now. We're going to 38. Are you part of those people who are thinking that this Gunners team will lose steam?
Well, they have no choice but to continue burning the fire. One thing I just think is if they maintain this point gap, they will likely lose the second leg to City. That game is more of mentality than what's happening on the field. But if they maintain a good, healthy gap between themselves and City, that we know can beat Arsenal 10-0 in the next leg and lose to Brighton in the next match. But for Arsenal, just make sure you better or match City's record. There are 13 games left. In the other 12, just either better City's result or match at least. If Arsenal win 1-0 in the next 12 games, nobody cares about scores. It's about the points gap. So if they maintain a healthy lead before that second leg, I tell people if Man City needs to win that second leg to win the league, they'll win the match. But if Arsenal's lead is still very healthy, you know that feeling of even a win will change nothing. But with the way these Gunners have gone, Arteta has listened to criticism about his predictability. Yes, everybody man for man, Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, and Nketiah. But suddenly decided to make a tweak. There was a game he played Martinelli up front, played Trossard on the left. The last 2 games he has played Trossard up front, Martinelli. So that's someone that is listening and wants a change in his squad. I like now that everyone is coming over. Since Partey has come back, he has not started the game. It's been Jorginho. Don't be shocked if Partey decides to start the next match. So now he's putting a bit of, okay, you can't 100% predict what my team will do. And that's what a manager that wants to win will do. And I like him, he's also giving the kudos to his boys, because no matter what you teach players, if they don't produce that on the field of play, it means nothing. I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm probably one of Arsenal's biggest critics, but it will be fun actually if they decide to win in a league that has, before the start of the season, it was about Man United, Ten Hag, it was about Man City, of course, with Pep, Liverpool with their new signings, everyone. Nobody thought about Arsenal. It was if they can make Champions League. And now they're top of the table.
Ooh. So that's it. The Gunners are doing what they need to do to stay relevant. I know Yemi wants to jump on this conversation, but Yemi, just hold on. Let's take a listen to Everton's manager, Sean Dyche. I mean, he's been reacting also.
40 minutes doing very well, I thought, against the top side. And, you know, you have to keep it tight at places like this, and you have to work for the counter, which we did. Finding them killer moments, obviously that's the story of the season so far, before and with me. And then once you're 2-0 down at a place like this, it's very difficult, we know that. And then we had to take the second half on, and at the end of the day, you saw why they're top of the league in the second half. You know, so it's not always about us. There was lots of things we could have done better, but at the end of the day, they're a top side and they showed it in the second half. Some 18 months ago, the manager's getting questioned and the team are getting questioned, and they've been on a journey since then, and I think we've all seen that. We've got to restart our own. You know, this is a group that are learning from us, a different kind of voice, different feel, but some of the problems have been there, and we've got to try and change that. And a lot of it is the mentality, particularly away mentality. Them stats from last season, this season, they're there for a reason. There's only one group of people who can change it, and that's us. Facts, you know, it's harder to win here than other grounds. But no, we did come here to win, make no mistake. We beat them a couple of weeks ago, so you know, there's no reason to not come here, at least be brave. And I thought we were brave enough in the first 40 minutes, because like I say, you know, you're going to have to absorb some of the game, which we did. And we worked well on counter, so I've got no question marks over that. But to come in 2-0 down, you're super frustrated as a manager when you come in 2-0 down after that first 40 minutes.
Everton's manager Sean Dyche. Now, with that defeat yesterday to Arsenal, the Toffees dropped to the relegation zone. They're now 18th on the log. But it's all about the Gunners. Yemi, tell me, how many times did you pump your fist in the air when Arsenal was playing Everton last night?
Okay, for personal reasons, I won't say that. But to be honest, even though we're pressed for time, but I think I'll just throw this in. This was a game I didn't think Arsenal was going to win. I didn't think they were going to win because Sean Dyche looks like the other guys, Sam Allardyce, Tony Pulis, rugby-style football, they don't lose. But so, that a show of character there. All right, let's move on. I probably would have loved to say a lot of this, but time not our friend. So let's go to the FA Cup. Of course, we've gotten to that stage where we have the quarter-final fixtures. Let's go straight into it. I think we have about 3 Premier League teams still in there. So we'll see what will happen. But very interesting to see teams like Manchester United, of course, still in there. Brighton up against Grimsby Town. Grimsby responsible for Southampton being bundled out. Manchester City up against Burnley. Manchester United up against Fulham. Sheffield United up against Blackburn Rovers. These are the fixtures. Like I said, 3 Premier League teams, 4, as a matter of fact, still in there. Bolu, quick one before we pick it back to Austin. Do you think it's still going to be a Premier League team picking this one?
Well, when there's Man City and there's Man United, it's almost difficult to see another team among these 2 guys. City, well, being City and Man United in massive form right, so it's difficult to see beyond them. And this is the first time in a long time that we are not seeing all Premier League, or at least majority. Now it is half. Premier League take half, let the lower division take half of it. So there may still be upset. At least there will be 1 team in the championship in the semi-final. And from there, you know, anything can happen. But you still pick the Manchester clubs to be favorites for this one.
All right. Austin is at the center where everything is happening. We have probably just a minute or 2. But also your take on this one. Do you think a Premier League team will still nick it?
I think they'll do just more than enough to, you know, to advance. It's the upset cup, by the way, where anything can happen, you know. But the Premier League teams definitely have the quality. They command, you know, some respect. But the smaller teams, such as Grimsby Town, you know, if you check the competition, Arsenal already crashed out, and then such a team is still there. That might just, you know, motivate them to go all the way. But we are pundits, and the punters will definitely put the money on the Premier League teams to advance, Yemi.
All right, so we'll see what happens. Interesting days ahead. All right, we usually don't do this, but let's do this tonight. Of course, we're gradually going to the season opener in Formula One. It's going to be very interesting. A lot of the teams have unveiled their cars. People are beginning to imagine what will happen. It's going to be an interesting season in Formula One where there are laws that ensures you don't talk about some things, you don't make political statements. And Bolu, Lewis Hamilton has said, "You can't stop me, I'm going to talk." So a lot of people are interested in the races, but I'm interested in seeing whether or not they will successfully gag someone like Lewis Hamilton.
I think Formula One should just know that it's beyond the sport itself. None of their athletes or drivers used to be more of the face until they became Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton is probably the first Formula One celebrity, kind of. Schumacher didn't even get this stance. That is his life. He can't say, remember they talk about stop jewelry, stop this one. The first thing is he's a man. They are not kids. They can do some things off the... Yeah, I understand they know political display, all those things, but there are some things they will say, especially in interviews. Are they winning the races? Are they following the laws on the field of play, on the track? If they are going by that, let's just enjoy our races. And it was the off-the-field problems that caused some distractions for last year.
And they're going to Bahrain. Bahrain is a place where you're going to have those kind of issues.
Exactly. And
That will
Hamilton
prompt
literally
an
owns
Hamilton
Bahrain.
to say something.
He will talk. So the question now is he talking off points or is he talking on points? Whatever happens, we just want to enjoy the race.
All right. Austin, probably that's going to be our parting shot. But your thoughts, your thoughts on the opener?
Yeah, you know, definitely Lewis Hamilton takes these opportunities to, you know, say things that were trying, you know, to conceal. But then again, I like him because at the back of his mind, he understands that he must do it with some level of sportsmanship. But I totally agree with you that what Hamilton will not accept is when you try to gag him, when you tell him don't talk. Remember when we're having the Black Lives Matter, trying to do everything, and he spoke out, you know, when we're taking the knee, it was Hamilton that led it. So definitely in Bahrain, he will talk, but I think he will do it responsibly, you know, because he's a role model to a lot of young people out there, you know me. So that's what I expect from Hamilton. Okay, that's the show from me in London. I'm Austin O'Connor, but in everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right. Bolu, we have to say thank you to you for your time on the show today. We'll do this again some other time.
Yeah, definitely. It's always a pleasure being around.
All right. That's the show today. We do hope you enjoyed everything we've been able to do. We'll do this again tomorrow. I'm Amy Adebayo. Bye-bye.